This is Eric Swalwell. Now, Eric Swalwell, we know, had a relationship with the Chinese spy. McCarthy has said this multiple times, and you know it's true, because if it wasn't true, the mainstream media would be going after McCarthy, but they're not. So it is true. He has talked to people at the FBI. He said it on my show a year and a half ago, but he's repeatedly said it since he's been House leader. But anyway, Eric Swalwell, Democrat congressman from California, here he is freaking out over the release of the tapes. And it's fairly obvious because it's just what you just said, James. He knows there's something there.
Well, we're seeing week by week that now Kevin McCarthy has to pay a new installment on that corrupt bargain, right? So last week, the installment was to give Tucker Carlson unfettered access to police footage, sensitive police footage of the Capitol on January 6th. You know, there's no good ending to that. It's either going to be used to distort what happened on January 6th by Tucker Carlson, or you just gave the proudest boy of all a blueprint for the Capitol that, you know, perhaps who knows where that will land, you know, for the next insurrection that could be planned.
All right. I really despise this guy. I mean, I at this point hate a lot of people in government, but this guy, I mean, the implication, he calls him the proudest boy of all, somehow that Tucker Carlson is either a white supremacist or something like that.
The point I really want to draw out from that clip was that comment you regarded, or that you brought up, where he regarded Tucker Carlson as the proudest boy of them all. And so this is that appeal to the Proud Boy. So I'm gonna do a callback to something I mentioned earlier, which is that book, Beautiful Trouble, which is available online for free. I think anybody who wants to understand leftist activism needs to go read it. You're not a serious player in what's happening if you haven't looked at Beautiful Trouble. Another one of their core principles is your target's reaction is your real action. Mm-hmm. So by provoking society through the things that happened in 2020, through the things that have happened since, through the drag queens, they get this organization to come into formation called the Proud Boys. The Proud Boys show up to things. They act in a, you know, quietly or modestly or sometimes not intimidating manner. They're an anti-Antifa, if you will, a dialectical opposite of Antifa. And they have become that as a reaction to the provocations of BLM, Antifa, et cetera, that have been happening, Drag Queen Story Hour, that have been happening throughout the country. Those are provocations. They're strategic provocations. This is unconventional warfare. And they have generated that reaction, and listen to what they do with it. It comes up every single time. So when you react badly, when you react the way that they want you to react, they are weaponizing you for their narratives, for the different tools that they're going to use, for the justification to, you know, have to shut things down or control speech or control thought or control whatever. So Proud Boys became an emblem in that it's the reaction. And you can actually say, if you understand the principle in Beautiful Trouble, that reaction was exactly the thing that they needed, just like the event in J6 was exactly the thing that they needed, even though it wasn't, because it didn't pan out the way that they could have really used it, to drive a narrative that something's happening in this country that's the opposite of what's really happening. There was an insurrection on January 6th. I know there was an insurrection on November 3rd or whatever it was previously. You know, so they cover up their own insurrection with the fake insurrection. They cover up the fact of Antifa violence with and drag queen story hour provocations, drag queen performances for children and now babies apparently everywhere with, well, the Proud Boys are violent and we have to resist this anti-LGBTQ hate, blah, 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 blah. And so that understanding that they are provoking reactions and using reactions. That's what Greta does. She provokes a reaction. She fake gets arrested, puts it on a camera. Understanding that this is a fundamental objective, a fundamental tool of their activism that keeps moving the ball for them, allows us to figure out ways to short circuit that and sidestep it.
If you'd like more sane takes on our insane world, check out our direct message clips playlist. And if you want to watch more full episodes of our live roundtables, watch our roundtables playlist. They're both right over here. And to get notified of all future videos, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell.